From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Hi everyone and welcome to Studio One. I'm Ann Hook along with Averi Haugesag. Today on the show, college students are encouraged to channel passion into their future careers. Later we will speak to the founder of a movement who is conveying a passionate theme to college students.
Also, a bone marrow transplant often is the only hope for people diagnosed with certain life-threatening diseases. We'll tell you how one man gave hope to a stranger living in a continent away. But first, the cost of yearly childcare has surpassed the yearly price of state colleges in some parts of the country. Childcare Aware of America says center-based costs rose an average of 3% nationwide. Massachusetts had the highest cost for full-time infant care last year. It could cost as much as $16,500 a year there. Nearly two-thirds of the country have daycare costs higher than college costs. Veterans of Uncle Sam may be serving you a cup of joe. The coffee company Starbucks released a plan to hire at least 10,000 veterans over the next 5 years. This announcement comes after a former defense secretary, Robert Gates, became a Starbucks board member last year. He will join the company's CEO, Robert Schultz, in designing the new hiring plan. Stress affects nearly everyone. The word stress usually brings up negative thoughts. Some say stress can actually be a good thing. Studies show stress helps you remember, can improve your health, and builds up resilience. An expert at the Duke Institute for Brain Science agrees that stress may be good for our health. The expert says that studies show facing stressful situations early on in life can boost your immune system. When you are stressed, it may also help you remember things better. When someone is stressed, cortisol is released in your body. This can help boost memory and learning. It can also have other positive side effects.
The primary advantage of stress is that it's actually really motivating. Stress tends to tell us something about the situation that we're in. It generally tells us that something needs to change or that we need to be working on something.
A Stanford University health psychologist says our fear of stress may make everything worse. She says stress may not even be the enemy we think it is. She also says that she's changed her mind about stress and wants to change others.
Grocery shoppers now have more opportunity to stay home. Online retailer Amazon now ships groceries. Their new Vendor Flex program allows manufacturers to sell products directly to customers. Some Amazon employees work in the warehouses of companies such as Procter & Gamble. Amazon has also taken over some companies' e-commerce and logistics. This is creating competition for big box retailers such as Walmart. Amazon ships all types of groceries throughout Los Angeles and Seattle, but they ship dry goods all over the U.S.
Ask people what the essentials in life are, and their answers will probably depend on their current situation. One man gave a complete stranger an essential he couldn't live without.
Whoa, what is it?
For Danny and Kari Gagner, family life is just starting. With a 1- and 3-year-old, they keep busy. One day, Danny received a call that put everything else on hold.
It was a very rewarding feeling, just knowing that my bone marrow can help a guy overcome cancer, potentially. It's just a great feeling.
6 years ago, Danny signed up to be a bone marrow donor. This year, he was selected as a match for a man suffering from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma living overseas. Danny was then flown to the Twin Cities Bone Marrow Donation Center. The process took 5 days to complete.
You'll receive a drug for 5 days, and it will boost the bone marrow into your bloodstream. And on the 5th day, you go in, and it's almost like donating plasma at that point.
Once extracted, they filter the bone marrow out of stem cells. They then send it to the recipient. 70% of patients who need a bone marrow transplant do not have a matching donor in their family. BeTheMatch.org is a website that links donors with recipients. The connections can save lives.
Oh, I was so proud of him. I mean, to know that he was taking time out of his day to save someone else's life, let alone a complete stranger, is just completely amazing.
The man who needs Danny's bone marrow is a 33-year-old living in France. Danny has not yet been in contact with him, but is optimistic that the procedure helped him.
The best part is there's a chance that you could save somebody's life, so it's a great deal.
There is nothing more valuable than good health. It allows families like Danny's to grow and play together. Danny's donation has given a chance at good health to a complete stranger who needs it dearly. Reporting for Studio One, I'm Will Biernat.
Danny says he will apply to communicate with his bone marrow recipient within the next year. More than 10 million other people around the globe are part of the BeTheMatch.org donor list. And that's the news for now. Ann?
You know, it's really great how people are signed up to be donors, to help to save lives.
Yeah, sometimes even strangers.
Let's move it now to Johnathan Metz in the weather studio, who's going to give us some more information on a storm brewing in Southeast Asia.
Well, thanks, Ann. At Averi, Typhoon Haiyan is set to now hit the Philippines and the East Coast, and it is now the strongest recorded typhoon on record. Its central pressure here is 853 millibars. The old record was 870 in 1979. To give comparison, Hurricane Katrina had a central pressure of 902 millibars. So this is a very strong typhoon, unfortunately impacting the Philippines, and it shows. Around the eye wall right here, wind speeds are currently at about 190 miles per hour sustained. Wind gusts are gusting into the low 200 miles per hour. Where is Haiyan going from here? Well, it's sitting right here on the east coast of the Philippines as it's making landfall. As we move through the next several days, it moves over towards Thailand, and as it does so, it continues to remain a hurricane, but hopefully its strength should still be a little bit less than what it was in the Philippines. And as it moves, even in a couple days later after landfall, it continues to weaken as it moves into China and becomes a tropical storm. Now, closer to home, we've just made the transition back from daylight savings time. But what you may not be aware of is how much daylight savings time affects you.
On November 3rd, daylight saving time ended at 2 a.m. Some benefits include saving energy, promoting outdoor leisure activity, reducing traffic accidents, and reducing crime.
It came about many years ago actually to help farmers. That was the biggest reason that daylight saving time came along. It gave them that extra hour to be out in the fields.
However, there are a few negative effects as well. It can disturb long-distance traveling, sleep schedules, and medical devices. Changing our clocks twice a year can be considered socially disruptive.
In the fall, of course, the downside is it gets darker a lot sooner. Pretty much for those of us that work like an 8-to-5 job, you come to work in the dark, you go home in the dark.
A report by Rasmussen, an electronic media company, show only 37% of Americans think daylight saving time is worth the hassle. 45% said it is not. With decreasing favor for daylight saving time, it might be time for a change. With photographer Jay Millspa, I'm Molly Offworth, reporting for Studio One.
There are, however, 2 states in the United States that do not observe daylight savings time. Those states are Arizona and Hawaii. And that brings me to the weather question for the week. In which month do typhoons occur most frequently? Is it A, August, B, November, C, March, or D, January? Ann and Avery, that answer will be ready for you at the end of the show.
All right, Johnathan, can't wait to hear it. Let's move it now to Avery Haugesag with today's sports story.
Thanks, Ann. Ice is avoided in many cases. We found some individuals who are expanding their horizons and venturing onto the slick surface to try a new sport.
That's not very helpful.
Katie spends a lot of time around rocks, ice, and brooms.
It's a really unique sport to participate in, and it's definitely growing.
Curling is a sport where players slide a stone across a sheet of ice at a target on the opposite end. Behind me, Katie is teaching some beginners how to curl for their first time.
Do you guys want to learn how to sweep?
Katie has been curling for almost 10 years. She shares her knowledge of the sport with interested beginners.
I really like being able to share a passion of mine with other people.
Everyone has a different perception on the sport before they go actually try it, but anyone can do it.
Curlers say people of all ages can learn to curl, but it does take practice.
It's cool to see people progress as they, find their balance on their sliders.
Sliders are a special type of surface on the sole of a curling shoe that allows the curler to slide across the ice easier. There's more to curling than just sliding rocks, though.
It's a very mental game. You're thinking a lot about how you can score that end and how your team can get the rocks to the middle of the house.
The bullseye, or target, is called the house. There is a part of curling that Katie enjoys more than the game itself, though.
You can really interact with the other teams, and you're meeting so many new people all the time.
Although this winter sport is thought to be quite cold, Katie's experience has been warmed by great personalities. Reporting for Studio One, I'm Katie Wilson.
Katie competes on a junior curling team. Junior teams are made up of curlers under the age of 21. Katie and her team have made it to the Junior Nationals for the past 3 years. That's a sports story for now. Ann?
All right, thanks, Avery. We have learned how a movement can go viral. Next, we will speak to a man whose movement is reaching 4 million people in over 180 countries every week through social media.
Closed captioning for Studio One is underwritten in part by NDAD, helping others to help themselves.
North Dakota is facing challenges in healthcare delivery. The University of North Dakota School of Medicine and Health Sciences is building a place to help meet the state's healthcare needs. In addition to a new structure, we're also building interaction between healthcare professionals while building a workforce through expanding class sizes. We're inspiring our youth to engage in healthcare careers and exploring ways to reduce disease. It starts here and ends here, building a better future for North Dakota.
At the University of North Dakota College of Engineering and Mines, classes have real-life application. Mentors guide students. Our work improves quality of life by answering tough questions with creativity and innovation. The University of North Dakota College of Engineering and Mines, training tomorrow's engineering and geology experts today.
The University of North Dakota College of Business and Public Administration, connecting vision to innovation.
Studio One closed captioning is underwritten in part by Options, your disability information source.
Be Somebody is a self-proclaimed passion movement. It has progressed from a one-man mantra to a social media-based global community. Today, its founder, Cash Shake, and social media manager, Alex Dorner, are here to talk about the organization's nationwide college campus tour. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Cash, please tell me, what is Be Somebody? What is this movement?
Well, first of all, it's awesome being in Grand Forks. This is the 18th stop on a 25-city and 50-day college tour that we're on. And Be Somebody is the fastest growing motivational movement in the world. All we do is basically create inspirational content and experiences all over the world, try to help people follow what they love, do what they love, go all in on their passion, and share it using the Be Somebody hashtag.
So, where did you come up with the name? What's the importance of the hashtag?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's crazy to see how fast it's grown. We hit 4 million people in 180 countries now with our content. But Be Somebody started as just a personal mantra of mine. I spent 9 years working at Procter & Gamble in Cincinnati, Ohio, and a couple years leading marketing for a company called GoPro in Silicon Valley. And Be Somebody was this thing on the side that I was doing and sharing via social media, try to push myself and motivate myself. And then when I had the opportunity to travel the world, I was able to visit 43 countries in 2 years with Procter & Gamble, and I started getting so inspired by all these people and all these things that I was seeing. And I always say that the irony of travel is that you go so far and you see so much, but you learn the most about yourself, and you're always kind of constantly inspired and motivated by all this different stimuli around you. So I was capturing it and sharing it using the Be Somebody hashtag, and started pouring it into my passion, which is writing, created the Be Somebody blog. And all that was kind of real, raw, kind of motivational, inspirational messages and stories about what I was seeing, and it started to grow really fast. And then something crazy happened is that people started using the Be Somebody hashtag all across the world to share whatever it was they were passionate about. You know, and I always believe that there's power in words, and there's something about this term of be somebody that just connects with people literally all over the planet. Even people, we always say from Mexico City to Manila, even if they don't speak English, they understand this term of be somebody, and because it becomes instantly personal to you. And that's what it's about. It's about your personal passion.
What is it that you hope to achieve?
Well, we want to build the world's platform for passion with content, experiences, and tools. There's never been a platform that's been big enough or broad enough to bear the burden of passion for the world, because passion's way too big. It's way too big and way too diverse, and nothing's ever been able to meet that high bar. But because Be Somebody's about you, and it's not, it's not just about me or Alex, it's about everybody and whatever it is you love to do. That's why we believe we can do it, and it's happening because people are really kind of coming in and being a part of it. And it's awesome to even see it here in the Grand Forks community. I think I ran by this morning about 7 people wearing Be Somebody shirts. I saw stickers on cars, and it's because it's about everybody's personal dreams and their personal passion. Well,
to go on what you were saying before, you worked as an exec for companies such as Procter & Gamble and GoPro.
Yep.
What really made you want to do this instead?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I spent 9 years at P&G leading marketing for Tide and Old Spice and Gillette, learned a lot of the traditional forms of marketing, learned about purpose. P&G is an amazing company. It's the biggest consumer products company in the world. Then I did the complete opposite and moved out to the Silicon Valley to work for a company that was founded by 5 surfers. It was the complete opposite. And I learned how to build a company from the bottom up, grassroots, passion first. And we're kind of combining the two with Be Somebody to build something that the world's never seen before, something that's not about a product, it's not about a service, it's about creating experiences and content that inspire people to go do what they love. So it was hard to leave, and hard to leave. I left a lot on the table, condo, girlfriend, lifestyle, money, equity in a company that was growing really fast. But we believe we can build this bigger, and more importantly, we believe it's going to be more impactful because we're helping people across the world.
Well, Alex, you know, since you are the social media manager and that's what your company's based on, it's basically live or die. What's the kind of the pressure for you since your organization is so much based in social media and you're its manager?
Yeah, the pressure is definitely high, and I have a lot of stuff on my plate, but I think that I do well under pressure, and I like it. I like that I have a voice that reaches over 4 million people in 180 countries. So it's cool. Like, my personal Twitter reaches like my 200 friends, but then like I can post something on the Be Somebody Twitter and that message reaches like millions of people. So it's like, it's just such a cool experience to have that voice and to send that message all over the world.
Well, you have this mantra, tagging the world. What does that mean?
Tagging the World was a tour that we did this summer where we combined social media and street art, because there's the tagging double entendre for both, where you tag someone like in a post, and then the slang for graffiti is tagging. So we found cool spots in like some of the coolest cities in the world and tagged Be Somebody in graffiti in them as like an inspirational message for people as they pass by, drive by, see it. And then a lot of people end up taking pictures of it and posting it on, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, just saying like Be Somebody and sharing it with what they love. Yeah.
Well, you gentlemen don't have the average 9-to-5 job. You're currently on a nationwide college campus tour.
Yep.
You know, why are you targeting college students?
Well, college students really represent the core of what's been building Be Somebody across the world. 85% of our fans are either in high school or college. And we're all a part, and they're all a part of the most ambitious and adventurous generation in human history. People want to do things that mean something to them, that creates value in the world. So we're on a 25-school and 50-day college tour. Grand Forks and UND is our 18th stop on the tour. We got a big event at 3 p.m. tomorrow at the hockey arena, where I get to speak, Alex gets to speak. Hopefully we don't stutter too much, and we get to do UND and the school proud up there.
Well, I wish you gentlemen the best of luck as you promote your passion, but thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coming up, communal has the benefits of a shared way of life. We'll talk to a group of people that says leaving that lifestyle can be challenging.
Studio One closed captioning is underwritten in part by Options, your disability information source.
It's not the size of the woman in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the woman.
Some consider graduation the end of the college experience. For others, it's just the beginning.
And the university provided an environment where I could grow.
Many years after I graduated, I'm still receiving dividends from my experience as a student at UND.
The University of North Dakota Alumni Association is committed to growing the university by growing the alumni family.
At the University of North Dakota College of Engineering and Mines, classes have real-life application. Mentors guide students. Our work improves quality of life by answering tough questions with creativity and innovation. The University of North Dakota College of Engineering and Mines, training tomorrow's engineering and geology experts today.
Really admire the faculty. They're the ones that kind of helped push me through this.
Courses are hands-on and interactive. The communication program has so many different facets to it. One of the great things about the staff in the communication department is that they love what they do. They encourage you to really critically think and analyze everything you're learning. They're so into it, and it makes you want to be into it.
If you would like to attend a live show, go to our website at studio1.und.edu.
The Norse god of thunder is back for a second storm. In Marvel's new movie Thor: The Dark World, Thor battles an enemy older than the universe itself. Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth, is fighting an ancient race led by supervillain Malekith. Malekith's dark elves spent thousands of years in hibernation until now. Thor must reunite with astrophysicist Jane Foster, played by Natalie Portman, to defeat them. Hemsworth says audience want more in a hero than just a knight in shining armor.
You got to make sure the hero is certainly, is a big catalyst to the resolution. He's not just kind of there to step in at the very end and save the day. You want a journey.
Director Alan Taylor says the film is meant to emulate a Viking era. Most of it was shot outdoors in England and Ireland. The film will be in theaters on November 8th with a PG-13 rating. Types of toys have changed from generation to generation, but the concept is the same. The National Toy Hall of Fame in Rochester, New York recognizes multi-generational toys each year. They look for toys that engage, create, and inspire kids to learn and discover through play. We want your thoughts on what you think is the best toy.
Polly Pockets, because I've always liked fashion, and along with all dolls, they kind of come with their own little accessories and their own little clothes, so it was always fun making outfits for them.
And my Stone Cold Steve Austin action figure, because he was just kind of my favorite wrestler on TV, and I'd always watch every Monday.
Legos, because you can build anything with your imagination.
Barbies, because I could dress them up and even cut their hair.
Hot Wheels cars, because it's something that my brother and I could do together that we both liked.
Clue, because I like the mystery of it, and I like the fact that someone died.
Legos, because you could play with them for hours and there are endless possibilities.
RV, because she's pink or about pink or whatever, and clothes. Lots and lots of clothes.
When I was about 4 or 5 years old, I went on a helicopter ride, and ever since it's just been helicopters. I had a helicopter theme room.
A comment on our Facebook page from Michael in China. The toy that inspired the most creativity in my house was the refrigerator box. Spaceships, castles, forts, boats, shops, caves. The refrigerator box is the most versatile toy I've ever seen. Sarah from Oregon says, the American Girl dolls are the best toy because they were like having a friend. You can dress them however you want, and they had the books so that you could read them, and it was like you were going on an adventure.
Many embrace their upbringing. There are always some who venture off. We talked to a group who say that leaving can be the most difficult thing.
It works, but it's not a sin.
This group shares a bond stronger than most. They felt their experience needed to be shared with others.
I believe a lot of other religious structures, denominations can learn from the Hutterites.
This group calls themselves the Nine. They are 9 ex-Hutterites who left a lifestyle of communal living. These 9 have bonded with each other over their similar experiences. They have written a book together and are talking openly about their past. Hutterites.org says that on average, 15 families live and work on colonies where they farm. Some of these ex-members say that they felt trapped.
I have to leave to find that freedom to serve Jesus Christ. And all the other freedoms that came along with it, I look at those things as bonuses.
Titus says that the Hutterites have structured ways of living, such as particular clothing, jobs, language, and religion. This group of ex-Hutterites say that they left more than a lifestyle behind.
Leaving the family was a very hard thing because I still have siblings back there and parents and most all my other relatives.
Although it was a tough decision to leave, they say it was worth it.
Once I left, I tried a whole bunch of different jobs, so that was cool. I had the opportunity to talk with other people, be able to communicate openly.
The group lives and works in northern North Dakota and southern Manitoba. They say they want to spread the message that they found faith and religion outside of the structured lifestyle that they grew up in. I'm Tasha Olson, reporting for Studio One.
Many of the members of the group still live close to one another. They are not allowed to visit the colony where they grew up, but their families can come visit them outside of the colony. And that's it, Anne.
Thank you, Avery. All right, let's move it back now to Johnathan Metz in studio with a final look at today's weather. How's it look, Johnathan?
Well, Anne and Avery, we're moving back into more of a normal pattern after it's been cooler for the past couple of weeks. The only really cool spots are in Washington and in New England. The warm spots will be down in Texas and Oklahoma. It'll be wetter than average all the way from California up through the northern part of the country to Maine, but drier in the southwest. That brings me back to our weather question of the week. Which month do typhoons occur most frequently? Is it A, August? And there are an average of 6.6 typhoons in that month every year. Ann and Avery, that's the weather for today.
All right, thanks, Johnathan. That's our show for today. As always, you can follow us through social media or get more information on our website. From all of us at Studio One, have a great week.
See you next week. So what do we think?